live from Camellia, Aklan in Numancia, Aklan in the Philippines. First, I want to greet everybody. Happy 4th of July. I know it's 4th of July in the United States. Hopefully, everyone had a good celebration of 4th of July. I had to let my dog out, Totoy. She always I'm just having my morning cup of coffee here. Actually, this morning I'm having my French vanilla brewed coffee from 7-Eleven. I had to pour it in my coffee cup here. And also, I went and got my malunggay pandesal. Since I've been back, I've been eating more and more of my malunggay pandesal. Malunggay pandesal looks like this right here. It's like toasted on the top right here, and then in the inside it's like fluffy, kind of like fresh out of the oven. It was still hot when I picked up my malunggay pandesal this morning. That's kind of like my routine here in Numancia when I'm here in Numancia. I kind of missed it when I was in Boracay Island because I couldn't find like malunggay cheese pandesal at Boracay. I mean, they had bakeries and they had pandesal in the bakeries, but they just didn't look fresh to me. They're like on display on like glass behind a glass enclosure, and they had it on display. It just doesn't feel the same like when I get my malunggay pandesal here in Numancia because I get it out of the oven. The guy's like opening the oven, taking out the trays and putting it in my bag. It's like I always get good pandesal because I always get there around 6 a.m. That's the time I get my pandesal, and it's still out of the oven. No line, People usually start showing up around 6:30 to 7 o'clock. It's bright and sunny here today. Let me lower the blinds a little bit so it's not hitting my face. Yeah, in the we're back. All right, Joel. I see that we're back January 8th. All right, Joe. I thought I messed it up. I hit like my friend Joel was messaging me on Messenger. He said they're back on January 8th. They have tickets already to be back here in Calibo. They always come to Calibo for Ati-Atihan, so they'll be back January. I thought I messed it up. I hit like the messenger. I was trying to push it up. Instead of pushing it up, it like popped on my screen. So that'll be good because this will be, I think, the fourth Ati-Atihan we're gonna spend with our good friends Joel and Eileen in Calibo. They always stay here for a couple of months. Over in Calibo, they have a place there. We always go to their. It's a building actually. At the top of the building, we watch the Ati-Atihan. They always like put out a spread. Like Ati-Atihan here in the Philippines, it's a fiesta. It's like a big 10-day fiesta here in Calibo. It's actually called the mother of all festivals in the Philippines because it's the original. It's the very first festival in the Philippines before other places in the Philippines started their own, like the Dinagyang in Iloilo, the Sinulog in Cebu. But Ati-Atihan is like they call it the mother of all festivals because it started the festival thing here in the Philippines. And now it's spread all across the country. You can find like festivals all over the Philippines now. Hey, there's my good friend Rick from Jacksonville, Florida. Good morning, Rick. Happy Independence Day, brother. Aim high, of course. Thank you, thank you. Yesterday, we did kind of like ate at McDonald's. That was kind of like our celebration for Independence Day because over here they don't do fireworks. Uh, July 4th in the Philippines is called Philippines American Friendship Day. I looked online, there wasn't festivities in Manila just because, probably because of the weather. Yesterday they had inclement weather. And speaking about the weather, let me update everyone that tropical depression Bising was the letter B as in Bravo. That was the second tropical depression cyclone typhoon type in the Philippines. It's now outside. It says here tropical affecting extreme northern Luzon. So it's still affecting, like I always say, like northern Luzon. They always get hammered with all the weather things here in the Philippines, and it's up there now by Batanes. Batanes is like when you go to Batanes, you're almost like in Taiwan. You know, it's like real northern section of the northern Luzon. So today, cloudy skies in Batanes and Babuyan Island with scattered rains and thunderstorm. In Metro Manila, in the Ilocos region, Central Luzon, Cagayan area, cloudy skies and with scattered rains and thunderstorm because of the habagat, because of southwest monsoon. That's what's affecting. It's not the tropical depression Bising anymore. It's just the normal monsoon rain here in the Philippines. And then the rest of the country, again, is being affected by southwest monsoon, the habagat. Partly cloudy skies, isolated rain showers. Here in our province of Aklan, we have not gotten any rain in like the past week. No rain at all, even at nighttime. It's like been sunny. Like right now, it's only 6:45 a.m. and it's bright and sunny already. We've been having a great weather in Western Visayas. We normally don't get hit with a lot of the typhoons anyway, the weather conditions that come to the Philippine area of responsibility here in Western Visayas. We're pretty lucky in that way. Joel, we're back. All right, Joel. Hey, Joel and Eileen, I saw your message. Like you're back January 8th. That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome. Can't wait. Can't wait till you guys get back to the Kalibo, celebrate again in Kalibo, Ati-Atihan. We'll do the sadsad. This year we did sadsad. Sadsad is street dancing. You get a group of people. Usually you represent like a organization, a school, or anything like that here in Kalibo, and then you join the parade. They let people join the parade, and you dress up in your T-shirt. You wear a T-shirt like your own, like us. We joined the sadsad for Joe and Eileen, and we were wearing blue shirts with the picture of the Santo Niño in the front. I still kept the shirt, Joel. So I got a shirt already for upcoming Ati-Atihan. Edgar, hey, happy 4th of July, Edgar. Happy 4th of July. Thank you for joining the live stream. I hope you enjoyed the video that mom and Dazzle made, the cooking video, and they're gonna do more. You know, it's like JP was saying that I wish we did plan. They did plan on including like shopping at the public market, but with the new stuff going on with YouTube, didn't want that to be a problem. So. I was thinking maybe next time when they buy their vegetables, maybe they can buy it at the roadside stand, because we can ask permission from the vendor at the roadside stand whether we can film them, and then maybe just I was telling Dazzle, maybe just film the vegetables, don't film the people, just focus on the vegetables that they're picking. We're learning to adapt, like anything else. It's like me too. It's like I've caught myself now not filming people, and I'll pay attention to that I won't be filming anybody anymore. I'm just gonna film sceneries myself, hopefully nobody around me. It's like I'll try to find places where there's just not any people. Charlie, happy 4th, Ginno. I know you're not from the States, but still gotta say, that looks good. Hey, God bless, my brother. Well, I'll always be an American. I'm an American citizen. I'm dual citizen. I'm citizen of the Philippines, and I was in the military for 20 years. I'll always be a patriot. I'll always like support the United States about anything. You know, it's like America is my country. You know, it's like I consider America my country, and I'll always be grateful and blessed that I had the opportunities in life because of America. God bless, my brother. Ray, hello, my brother. Early bird with my comrades. All right. Early birthday. All right. Is it your birthday, Ray? Is it my good friend in Sacramento, California? Tamuki said hi. All right, Tanuki. All right. Rodrigo Paulista. All right, thank you. All right, from Brazil. Wow, from Brazil. I don't see Brazil often, but I have seen it before on our live stream. Thank you so much, Rodrigo Paulista from Brazil. Car guy, no, okay, I've seen car guy before. Hello, car guy. Okay, skating geezer. All right, you're from Ormoc. I'll have to take a picture because I try to keep track of where everybody is. So now I know where you're from. Skating geezer, you're from Ormoc. Ormoc. All right, I'll that way I'll review the. You know, sometimes I can't go back and see all these comments. So I try to take picture that way I can remember. Like next time I see you, skating geezer, I know that you're from Ormoc City. Isn't that where the mayor is, like the former actor Richard Gomez? I think that he's the mayor there from Ormoc City, or a politician from Ormoc City. That's the only thing I remember for Ormoc City. Never been to Ormoc, but I think that's where Richard Gomez is from. It's monsoon time in Arizona. Oh, yes, I remember. Monsoon in Arizona. I remember like El Pour, Downpour, Joel, and then the wash in Tucson, Arizona. We have those wash, and that would be the only time of the year would be like flowing water on those wash that to control flooding in the Tucson area. Charlie Land. Hey, Gavin B. All right. My good friend from Brisbane, Australia. Hello, Gavin P. JB. All right, JB. Good morning. From Sydney, Australia. JB Manalang. All right. Hello, everyone. Edgar, do you remember the price of the new Coast 2-bedroom apartment? If not, watch the video again. The SL video was great, but good choice to film out the film as well if possible. Yes, we will try. Usually the roadside vendors, we have our suki. Suki is called kind of like our regular that we always go to the like fruit stands and vegetable stand and even seafood stand. We usually on the road coming from Calibo, we have our favorites that we go. So I'm sure they won't mind us if we film them, and we'll just ask on the video. We'll say, I told Dazzle to just do that. I'll do the same. Before I film somebody, I'll just ask him, are you all allowing us to film you? That way, no hassle. Nobody's saying, hey, you filmed somebody, you didn't ask them. But I'm just trying to cover all the bases because you know how YouTube is. You know how people get sometimes. So I got to be careful. But we'll do that. The 2-bedroom apartments at New Coast. Again, the reason that's they're somebody had asked me earlier about prices, about the party boat price. Here in the Philippines, Edgar, what you're going to find out here, even a Facebook marketplace, ads that people put, like online ads on Facebook, like for an apartment, for a motorcycle on sale, a car on sale, half the time they don't put the price. I don't understand it. I'm used to, like, in the US, I'm used to like Craigslist back in the day. You can like decipher a lot of things on Craigslist by just looking at the ad. Because if you put the price and you put the item, usually it's like, oh, that's too much for me. I don't have to look at that. I guess it's a different kind of thinking here in the Philippines. It's always like PM. They'll say private message, PM. So it's so common here to look at an ad. Like, I'm so used to it now that it doesn't bother me. In the beginning, it used to bother me. I'm like, why put the price? That's like common sense. If you're selling something, people want to know how much it is. But here in the Philippines, the way they like to do things is no prices on their ad, and then you have to contact them. I guess because Filipinos, they're just into that negotiating thing. They like that. And then a lot of times what I find out about these things, if they do put a price, a lot of times it's a bait and switch. I call it a bait and switch. They'll advertise a certain price, and then when you contact them, oh, unfortunately, sir, it's not available, but I have something else available. So it's challenging here in the Philippines. That's why if you're trying to find an apartment here, if you're coming from the you're a foreigner coming in here, it's challenging to say the least, as far as getting a good price on something. That's why I always tell people, hopefully you have a Filipino friend, hopefully like a significant other that's Filipino that can assist you. Like right now, I'm assisting this guy that he's coming from the United States. He's in Manila right now. He's gonna fly to Iloilo City on Tuesday. It just happens to be that Dazzle and I will be in Iloilo City starting to Monday to Thursday. So I was willing to help him. So I'm actually like communicating with different condos in Iloilo now, trying to just decipher all the madness, because like I go through the same thing. I go through like how much it is, and they're like they're just not upfront with the information. They just won't tell you, okay, I have 135K last price, that's it. There's always negotiation, talking the price down and all that. So I'm trying to do that for him now. That way, when I see him on Tuesday, hey, dude, here's a couple that I found for you if you want to check it out. But to go back to your question, Edgar, at New Coast, for a 2-bedroom, the starting price is 60,000 pesos, about $1,000, fully furnished 2-bedroom. And then the 1-bedroom, they start at 40,000. It's the negotiating price. And again, the reason why the prices vary. I mean, I can go to New Coast now and start asking, and I would get, like, for a 1-bedroom, I would get a range between 35,000 pesos to 40,000 pesos, because it's not like you're thinking in the US, like when you go to a condo, show me what's available in this condo, and they can show you like 4 different units, and there's like a property manager and the advertised price. Here, a lot of the condominiums here, not just at New Coast, same thing in Iloilo City, it's privately owned. It's not like New Coast, Boracay property, it's not like they have like all 60 units, one owner. What happens here in the Philippines is people buy the condo and turn it into like an Airbnb or a rental. That's why you're dealing with like let's say I go to New Coast now. There will be like 5 units available there. I'm gonna be talking to 5 different owners. It's not one person. That's why they're competing on prices. They're like trying to undercut whatever strategy they have, and then the units are not the same, because each unit, it's however the person interior decorated it. The tiles are different. The furniture in it is different. The appliances in it and this is different. That's why you get the varying price. That's why you can't get a fixed price. Like, let's say right now I'm checking for an apartment for the gentleman that's in Manila right now at One Madison. One Madison is one of the Airbnb condo right at Festive Mall. Like, you can see Festive Mall from One Madison. One of the nicest condos in Iloilo City is One Madison. And again, there's several units available at One Madison, but you're like, some of them are Airbnb, some of them are one bedroom, different prices on the one bedroom. That's why it's challenging. I know it's challenging for a foreigner when they get here, when nobody is helping them, because like you're gonna get like different prices, and that's what I know what frustrates. Then the foreigner starts thinking, man, they're skin taxing me. That's a word I hear from foreigners. It's a skin tax because one person's gonna tell you 35,000, one person's gonna tell you 40,000, one person's gonna tell you 45,000. So it's hard to navigate that. It's like. That's why me, like with the question, the two bedroom, I can't give you a fixed price because I know 60,000. I would not pay more than 60,000 for a two bedroom. I would try to go lower than 60,000 for a two bedroom. Charlie Letts. By the way, Gino, I meant you didn't live here. I know you are still proud. Okay, no worries, no worries. No problem, Charlie. Leo is calling me. Leo, I'm my friend Leo from Boston. My friend from Boston is like trying to call me. Probably wanted to greet me a happy 4th of July because we're brothers. Like Leo, um, it says there, missed call from Leo video chat. So I don't want to I don't want to press this phone because I don't want anything funky happening to it. Michael Manalastas, Nueva Vizcaya. I've never been to Nueva Vizcaya. I gotta look in the map where Nueva Vizcaya. I know where Nueva Ecija is. I know where Nueva Ecija is, but I don't know where. There's so many places in the Philippines that I haven't even gone to or seen. But now I have to check it. Where Nueva Vizcaya is. I'm thinking it's somewhere in Luzon. Probably like central Luzon is what I'm thinking because that's where Nueva. Yeah. Leo just said, "Happy 4th, my brother." It's like we always like call. There's a certain group of us that we were stationed together when we were all young, and we remain friends. Like Leo, Varine, Busby. It's like there's just a group of us that. It's amazing how when you have friends like that, friends that I've had for 40 years, because the military like bonded us. We all lived in the dormitory at George Air Force Base. So it's like amazing that we've kept, I love it when I have friends like that I can say that, man, we've been brothers for 40 years. It's like we've held on to the friendship, all this time. Yes. All right. Happy birthday, Ray. That's what I figured. I said, is it your birthday, Ray? And I was like, happy birthday, Ray, from Sacramento, California. Happy birthday. Our birthdays are coming up too. Dazzle's birthday is like the 24th of July this month. And then my birthday is going to be August 1st. So I'll be 59 this August 1st. We're, Dazzle's birthday looks like I'm gonna plan a birthday at Loola's Fish Farm because Dazzle. I'm gonna try to do it on the weekday because I'll have to look at the calendar now. Really, go what day her birthday falls on. But you might have to celebrate it on a different day just because Loola's Fish Farm. Yeah, actually that's perfect. 24th is on a Thursday. We'll celebrate it that day. Small gathering. It's not like we're gonna invite a lot of people. Friends. Some friends will invite. James and Karen Adventures, of course, will invite them. And then we always just celebrate. Like I know Dazzle and I, when we celebrate our birthday, we've never had like a big party or anything like that. Usually we just go out to dinner. Usually it's just me, Dazzle, and Leanna, and Mom now. So we'll probably just the four of us going fishing that day. Leanna's got school, that's the thing. So probably just mom, me, and Dazzle, and then maybe James and Karen will invite them if they want to come go fishing. But we always just celebrate as just us, you know. We've never really thrown any parties or anything like that for the neighborhood and stuff. We're not, you know, even though Dazzle and I we do YouTube, we're really not like outgoing like that, going to parties and things like that. We like our, you know, we're pretty private actually. You know, it's like when subscribers contact us, want to meet us, of course we'll meet you. But we try to have a good balance between YouTube, our life in YouTube, and then our private life. We don't mix it. We don't mix it. We still value our privacy. Norman, Victoria, Ginno, Norman from San Diego. All right, San Diego. We get a lot of subscribers in San Diego. For belated four from California. Were there any U.S. expats out there, or and did you celebrate? I know, you know, here in Aklan province, there's actually not many, you know, Americans here. You know, it's like there's some in our province. I've met Americans, but not many. Yeah, it's not like if it's in Angeles City or Dumaguete City or Olongapo City, where a lot of veterans, a lot of U.S. military veterans, you know, they like those areas. But here in Aklan province, even in Calibo, there's not many of us Americans here. A variety of foreigners, Canadians, British, Australian, New Zealanders, but there's not many. There's not many. Maybe in Boracay, I know in Boracay there's more Americans in Boracay. But there was really not much celebration for us. We ate at McDonald's. Yeah, that's about the only celebration. I figure McDonald's is American, you know, so that's where we ate for dinner last night. Fortune Ibiernes. Good AM, Gino. Happy 4th of July, everyone. All right. From Cavite. From Cavite. They are treating me dinner. Oh, nice Chinese buffet. I mean, I love those Chinese buffets in the U.S. Man, I like how they make the fried rice, and then my General Chow chicken. You know, like I like that General Chow and then what's the hot and sour soup. You know, they don't make that stuff here. Even the Chinese restaurants here, the Chinese restaurants here are different from the Chinese restaurants in the U.S. I guess because the U.S. Chinese restaurant, they're more like Chinese American, tailored to like American. Here, a lot of the Chinese restaurant here are like dim sum. You know, they'll have like things like chicken feet and stuff like that. You know, you won't see chicken feet on the menu at the Chinese buffet in the U.S. Man. Malunggay pandesal is also my favorite. Also my second daughter. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love the malunggay pan. I've already eaten two. I'm gonna have a third one after this. It goes good with my coffee. I even dunk my malunggay pandesal in my coffee. And I found my favorite. In Numancia. There's actually several of them now. I think there's three in Numancia, close to but I have my favorite. Joni's Malunggay cheese pandesal is my favorite because they do it right. You know, it's like the top kind of toasted brown, and then, but you know, still fluffy inside when it comes out of the oven. It's my favorite pandesal. Joni's pandesal in Numancia. It's near the 7-Eleven, not the one outside Camellia, but the other 7-Eleven, near the public market. Yo, Gino. All right, Tim C, my good friend in Las Vegas. Hello, Tim C. Hope you had a good 4th of July. I know Vegas, man. I'm sure they got fireworks in Vegas, man. I'm sure it's a big celebration in Las Vegas. I mean, they have fireworks in Las Vegas, you know, even without 4th of July. So I can imagine 4th of July, I'm sure it's a big celebration in Las Vegas. Ati-Atihan is in honor of Santo Niño, but Atis were really native of Aklan. All right. Yes, that's very popular here. Like a lot of, during Ati-Atihan, everybody carries their Santo Niño, different sizes of Santo Niño, and then they dress up their Santo Niño. And the biggest thing is like taking your Santo Niño over to the Calibo Cathedral for it to get blessed. You know, that's like there's always a long line of people carrying their Santo Niño to get blessed at the church during Ati-Atihan. You know, I get, for good fortune. And it's a blessing, you know. It's like a lot of tradition still happens. That's why I like about Ati-Atihan. There's still, I mean, there's the revelry, there's like a kind of like the Mardi Gras feel, but it's also, a religious event. You know, you see processions. You see a lot of processions with the Santo Niño. You see, the end of Ati-Atihan, that Sunday is a big mass over at Pastrana Park by the cathedral, and it's attended by thousands. I mean, like, it's hard to get there. You know, it's like they close Calibo during Ati-Atihan. My friend Joel, they know it well because they have a building. His wife's family has a building in Calibo, 3-story building, and it's right in the heart of Calibo, like at the Pastrana area. So the parades like go through their building, and a lot of noise. Even Joel tells me, like, even the fireworks at night, the concerts at night, it's just 10 days of like just celebration is what it is. 10 days of celebration in Calibo. Then Dinagyang was the next, also in honor of Santo Niño de Cebu, where it visited Iloilo. But Dinagyang incorporated the tribes a la Ati-Atihan. Yes. I prefer, I've been to Dinagyang, but in Iloilo, to me, I like Ati-Atihan more. Because what I observed with Dinagyang, it's more like a spectator in Dinagyang in Iloilo. They set up these bleachers along where the parade will come, and you're really just sitting on the bleachers watching it. I mean, it's still nice, but Ati-Atihan just hits different because there's no bleachers set up in Ati-Atihan. You join the parade. You know, it's like you can join any group. You can. It's just it's more fun. I just could, and then of course Iloilo is bigger. It's like it's only certain sections where they have the parade, the parade route in Calibo during Ati-Atihan. It's the entire Calibo. People are just walking around. I mean, there's just a lot of people, and then a lot of the bands you can join. You can dance on the street. It's more, I would say, crowd participation in Ati-Atihan than in Dinagyang. What I saw anyway when I went, it's more watching, sitting down and watching, instead of like crowd participation. Good morning, Ginno. It's so hot here in Winnipeg. It feels like the Philippine summer. Ooh, that is hot. That is hot. If it feels like Philippine summer, that is hot. Because I have lived in a lot of places that were warm or hot. I've lived in Victorville, California, in the high desert. I lived in Arizona, that's in Tucson, desert weather. I lived in Texas, San Antonio, Texas, where muggy. I've lived in Louisiana. Where Louisiana is like kind of like the Philippines, like sticky, like a lot of humidity. But man, the Philippine heat hits different. I think that's one thing, I want to people to know, like, especially if you've never come to the Philippines. If you come to the Philippines, the Philippine heat, the summer here, like March, April, May, those months, if you can survive those 3 months here, you're good. You can handle the heat in the Philippines because it is challenging. I mean, you're gonna be sweating. The difference, when you're in America, when you're in the U.S., even if you live in like a warm or hot climate, you always have AC. I mean, you can go to the mall. You can, your whole house is like you got the thermostat in your house. So central air, the entire house. So when you get in your car, you got AC. Most buildings you go got AC. Here in the Philippines, it's just not like that. Even the malls here sometimes, they'll cut the electricity. You know, it's like, I remember City Mall Calibo, for the longest time, their AC wasn't working. And they were just letting it. They were just saying, well, it's broke, you know. But I think they were just trying to save electricity because, you know, electricity is expensive here. So for months, I mean, actually almost a year, I remember during the pandemic, they shut down the AC, the air condition at City Mall Calibo, because they don't want people hanging out at the mall because of the pandemic. But you know, the pandemic winded down, no more pandemic, and still they wouldn't turn on the AC. And now what they've done is like save more grocery. They built a glass wall, so you can go to Save More and there's AC at the Save More grocery, but when you come out of that glass at the food court, no AC on the food court, you know. But just because, you know, they're trying to save electricity, I understand. I mean, electricity is expensive. I can imagine the electricity bill at the mall here. But like I said, the heat here in the Philippines just hits different. Even my friend David from Canada, he was here in Balete Aklan. Last, you know, he would vacation in Balete. Oop, my dog wants to go in. Hold on. All right, Toy. David was telling me it's summer now in Canada. I guess it's summer. You know, like Tanya was saying, he's got his yard, green yard. But when he was here, he was saying, man, he stayed in Balete, Aklan. I think Feliciano, Balete, and he said for like the 30 days he stayed there, that the thing that, you know, the hardest thing for him to adjust was the heat here in Aklan province. Third, in honor of Santo Niño. It became popular because the first in the Philippines. Yes, I saw that. We went to Cebu and we went to that Magellan Cross. You know, I got to see that in Cebu. If you're looking for if you're like a history buff, you like seeing all the Spanish things when they were Philippines was colonized by the Spaniards. Cebu is a good place to visit. There's a lot of remnants of Spanish colonization of the Philippines in Cebu. All right, Sadie, I knew I was right. I knew it's skating geezer. Richard Gomez was the mayor, but his wife has been mayor. I didn't know. His wife is the. I have seen Richard Gomez on videos on YouTube. He does like a cooking thing, you know. I have seen some of his videos, and his title is Representative of Latest 4th Districts. Locals fondly call them the power couple. All right, I can see it, man. I can see it. I can see how they are the power couple. Like I said, I'll watch Richard Gomez, like he does like cooking videos. He cooks like Filipino food. Balikbayan guy, my friend John. Magandang umaga po. Magandang umaga, John. Kamusta? Mabuti ako, John. Mabuti. We are celebrating our 4th of July tonight here. Fireworks show at Port Orange. All right. Awesome. And I knew that. I knew a lot of 4th of July celebration. That's awesome. That's always fun. Fireworks show. That's always fun to go to. Speaking of Richard Gomez, he's a famous actor. He really wanted to be a politician, ran for party list, but can't win. Then he found gold marrying. Okay, Lucy Torres. All right. Then with both star power, they were able to beat the ruling political family. Wow, I didn't know the new dynasty. I know that it's big here. I don't pay attention too much to politics here in the Philippines. I know there's like political family dynasties here in the Philippines. It's usually, grandfather, dad, and son. It's like handed down. Like that happens here. That happens here in Aklan. It's like there's even Boracay. There's families that rule the areas. It's like. Lucy's a mayor once. They were they are term limited. Max 3 state, they just switch positions, but I think the Ormoc people like them anyway. Yes, I'm sure because they bring popularity to Ormoc City. I'm sure they like I would have never heard of Ormoc City if not for Richard Gomez. That's the only reason I heard of Ormoc, you know. The reason for no price ad is that the seller can adjust the price based on demand. If low demand, you can negotiate lower. If the demand is higher, they can quote higher price. Yeah, that it is just so different. Unfortunately, for foreigners, like for me coming from the United States, for us, it doesn't make sense to put an ad and not put a price. That I have to contact the person because that would be another communication. Because like usually, like even in Craigslist back in the day, I don't know if they still use that in the U.S., but usually when you're looking, if I was looking for a washer and dryer, if you put the price $400, $500, okay, that's too much for me. So I don't have to look at the ad anymore. I don't have to contact the person. To me, it's like, like you see it on Facebook Marketplace. They'll put an ad, no price, and then on the comments there'll be like 100. How much? How much? How much? How much? And then the seller's gonna go PM, 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 private message. So it's like, to me, just that's another in the U.S. it's all about efficiency. In the U.S. That could aggravate a foreigner when it's like that. And then they're getting mixed prices. That's why a lot of foreigners, they start feeling like there's a skin tax. They call it a skin tax because they're getting different prices. And we know anyway that foreigners get a different price anyway from the locals. It is what it is. I always tell people that. It's like, that's why you gotta get into the local, meet a local, befriend a Filipino so the Filipino can do the negotiating for you so the Filipino can get a good price. Because, it is what it is. Like I said, when they see a foreigner, ooh, he got money, I can charge him more. That's just the way it is. That's a Filipino way of thinking here in the Philippines. Lost the audio. All right, for a few minutes. All right. Must be the internet. Sometimes the internet does that. It's that nothing I could do. Northeast Luzon. All right, Nueva Vizcaya. Maybe that's why I've never gone. I've driven to Ilocos Sur, Ilocos Norte, all the way to Pagudpod, but I know that's a big area, like the Cagayan, Nueva Vizcaya. I know that's a big area. I enjoyed it when we drove it, and Dazzle and I went to that area. Fun to drive because no traffic. It's like the highways was nicely paved, cement highways. I mean, it would be perfect, like if you're a motorbike enthusiast riding around in that area. It's like wide open spaces, nice views of like the ocean. I remember driving up Ilocos Norte, like a lot of ocean. Kind of reminded me of like the Pacific Coast Highway, how I used to drive in California. Same deal, a lot of long drives where you can just see ocean on the left while I was headed up to Pagudpud in Ilocos. It's okay now. Thank you, Fortune. Thank you. Hello, Ginno and everyone. JP. Hello, JP. I think I got the message from you, JP, in Yahoo. I just haven't gotten a chance to answer everybody between my WhatsApp, my Yahoo, and then the comments. It's like, but I'll get to it. I know you mentioned about marking like fishing area, so I'll read it later. I just scanned it through it real quick, and then I'll make sure after the live stream I answer everyone that messages me. He read Charlie's message. The audio got cut. All right. Expat, you must have. Hey, thanks, Brian, my good friend in Galveston County. All right, Expat. All right, Brian. Yeah, next, I was gonna say, Monday to Thursday, Dazzle and I were gonna go to Iloilo City. I'm gonna help out. My friend Steve and Nova were driving with them. They're gonna ride in our car. Steve wanted to check out like the medical facilities at Iloilo City, and then wants to eat seafood. You know, they got good restaurants in Iloilo City. And then the gentleman coming from Manila, he actually wasn't gonna go to Iloilo City. He was thinking of Cebu City. But that's the problem he was running into. He doesn't know anybody in Cebu City. All he was seeing was videos about Cebu City. You know, he was thinking of going there, renting a condo, and trying it out. But like I said before, you know, if you're coming from the U.S. and you don't know anybody here, it's just difficult. It'll be difficult. I couldn't imagine that, you know. Like for me, when I did it 14 years ago, I knew where I was headed. You know, I already picked a location. Boracay was my location. So at least that was like, I knew it was good, the best place for me. But if you're coming from the US and you know you've only been to the Philippines a couple of times and you haven't decided really where to move here or retire, it could be hard. Like this, the gentleman now, you know, he's like, he was thinking of Cebu City, but the problem he was going to get running into, he's asking about condominiums in Cebu City, and he's getting like wide range of prices on the condominiums from like 40,000 to 55,000 pesos. You know, so it's like, you know, he doesn't know the price. You know, like for me, I told him, man, come to Iloilo City, at least try it for a month or two. We'll try to get him like a month to month, rent him month to month on a condominium. At least me, I've lived in Iloilo City for 4 months. I've done research on condos. I have a pretty good idea on how much condos are in Iloilo City. So when I help him look for a condo, I can at least tell him they're asking too much, you know. And again, everything's negotiable here. You know, it's like depending on the length of the contract, or if you go month to month, you're gonna pay more. If you're gonna rent month to month anywhere in the Philippines, they're gonna ask more for it because you can give them a 30 notice and leave. That's how I always rented here. I never signed a 6-month lease, 1-year lease because I don't want to get trapped in a condo, in an apartment. I don't mind paying another 1,000, another 2,000 a month extra for month to month rent, because at least if something happens to that apartment, a neighbor next door moves in that likes karaoke, every night, I can give my 30-day notice and say, hey, I'm out of here, I gotta find me another spot, so that's why I always recommend to people, don't sign any lease, 6 months, 1-year lease, because that locks you in. If something happens, you might move in and the apartment or condo is like, oh, this is nice, I'm really liking it. Then all of a sudden you get that neighbor that's not nice, then you're stuck there. You can't move. I always tell people, I don't get it. It's like why you would want to lock yourself down for a year, because like I said, the prices are negotiable. So it's not like, well, I want to lock in so I can get that rent for the whole year. But I guess people are different. I'm different that way. I like my when I was renting before, I like that option of being able to give my 30-day notice and then, hey, I'm out of here, I'll find me another spot. Like the video from the movie theater, Boracay. How did you and that? Oh, we loved it. I'll watch it again, man. If I love the F1 movie. I'm a race car buff anyway. I like NASCAR. I like Indy. I like F1. So it's like, awesome movie. I mean, and Brad Pitt too. I mean, I have not seen a bad movie from Brad Pitt. He's like, although it's fine here, except it's flooding down. Ooh, flooding, Captain Ron. Whoa. Must be like, I know my sisters, before, my sister lives in Houston, and I know there's areas in Houston that also floods, and they get storms, from the Gulf of Mexico. I know, but my sister, I have to call my sister now and ask her how she's doing. I have to check up on her anyway, because I haven't heard from her in like a week. I usually try to, she's my only sister left, my sister's 69, I'll be 59, so it's just the two of us, so I got to keep track of my sister. Hold YOLO. Good morning. All right, so we're saying, hey, Jolo, hey, I see your comments, brother. I appreciate your comments all the time on our videos. Thank you so much, my brother. Text, good evening, good morning, Brian. All right. FB Marketplace, Gino. How much? How much? How much? 100 comments. I see that. Oh, right, right. Skating geezer. I'm like, to me that doesn't make any sense. To me it's like, to me it's like, but it is what it is. Like I said, I've gotten used to it. But I'm just warning people. I'm just warning people because when they come here to the Philippines, that's one of the things that I know aggravates foreigners when they get here. It's about post, because Facebook Marketplace, unfortunately, online, that's really the only place where you can find things like let's say Numancia, like our little town of Numancia, our 25,000 people Numancia. That would be the only place where you can, where people post their stuff, like items for sale, used items, bicycle, motorbike. That's where they would post it, So there's really isn't another place. There's no Craigslist that I can think of here in the Philippines. It's really just Facebook Marketplace. But that's like skating geezer saying, it's like, why put an ad on something and not have a price on it? It's like, and then you have to reply to like 100 people saying how much, and then the reply is usually PM. That means that person put the ad. You got to message every single person there, and you could have eliminated half of those people just by putting the price. Because when you put the price, for me, if it's too much for me, I won't even look at the ad anymore. So one time I even asked, I replied to an ad because there was no price, but I was really interested. And then I asked the guy, where is this item, or where are you located? And he replied back to me, oh, I got to ask my wife. I was like, what the heck, man? He's the guy selling it, and just replied to me, I got to ask my wife, get back to you later. I was like, sometimes you just kind of laugh. It's one of those things here in the Philippines. My connection is being weird. All right. Hey, must be the internet, JP. I mean, nothing we could do. My internet's good. I even have my internet hooked up to my Blue Yeti, so it's not the power here, no power outage, because that's one of the things. If a power goes out here, I would lose you guys. So my internet's hooked up to my Blue Yeti, so I'm not gonna lose internet. So, and looks like my internet's good. I can even check. I'll check on my other phone here how fast my internet is. But so far so good. So far, internet speed. Let me see my internet speed. Internet speed test. I'm getting 94 Mbps, so I'm good. I'm good as far as my internet. It's not on my end. It's not. It could be YouTube. It could be YouTube. Sometimes they get overloaded. Sometimes YouTube gets overloaded. So yeah. See, I'm getting 95. I'm getting like 90. 94, 95 Mbps. So I'm good. It's not my internet. I mean, I'm happy if I'm getting 94, 95 Mbps, and that's pretty fast for me. How would American expat make Filipino friends? I imagine they would be too shy. Um, Good. For me, my recommendation for people all the time is, if you're in the US, you've selected the area where you're going. Most places here in the Philippines will have a group in that area, especially if you're going to like Angeles City, the popular expat, Dumaguete City, Cebu City. Those big areas where there's a good concentration of expats. You can just join the Facebook groups in those areas. Or I know there's one group, for me, I like the one group, positive minded expats in the Philippines. That's one group that's, it's positive. So they're kind of nice. I know some of the some of the Facebook groups, some of the groups here, they're kind of mean sometimes. It's kind of like one guy asks a question and he gets hammered by people. But usually you can find on those groups, like you can kind of tell the good guys, the guys that are willing to help. You know, I always tell people it helps before coming to the Philippines. If you're moving here, if you do decide to move here, to find a sponsor. I mean, I don't mean the person has to like sponsor you about everything, but at least have somebody that you can communicate with and answer, simple questions. Like there's a lot of things, it's like me when I answer people, and I don't mind answering people's questions. Like if you contact me, people ask me about banking, how do their tourist visa, how to handle that, how to open an account, what's a alien card register. I mean, what's the Gcash? How do I get a SIM card? When you have somebody boots on the ground here in the Philippines, you meet somebody online. That's a big help. That's a big help instead of like getting here and you don't know anybody. Like my friend, like he's in Manila. If he had gone to Cebu, I told him I'm sure he would have met an expat in Cebu because there's plenty of expat in Cebu. But the thing he was worried is like an expat you can trust, or an expat that will like you get along with, because sometimes how expats are. It's kind of like when they get together, next thing you know they're not friends anymore, they don't like each other anymore. So that's the thing. Just my recommendation is, if you're shy, if you're not like an extrovert, if you're not, try to befriend a Filipino even before you get here. And then once you get to the area here, I'm trying to think what's the best way to like get to know the locals. Usually when you get to an area, the public market, a lot of times you'll find your suki. Your suki is like a person that like you buy your vegetables, you buy your fruit, you become friends with the suki, the vendor, because they see you all the time. The minute they see you, they all smile because they know, oh, it's a sale. They're selling. But you can get a connection with that. My friend Ruben in Calibo, at the fruit stand, Ruben was just walking. Ruben's from San Diego. He didn't know many people when he first moved to Calibo. He's been there since January, but now he knows people. Like one of the guys that he knows is like the guy who chopped his watermelon. Ruben likes watermelon, so this guy, he even chops and cuts Ruben's watermelons in squares and put it in a Tupperware. So he's friends with that guy now. In where Ruben lives, he's walking distance inside the community. There's a pool hall. So Ruben went to pool hall because he likes to shoot pool. Now he's got Filipino friends that he shoots pool with. I mean, you got to make an attempt. I mean, it's you can't just how friendships are. You also have to be friendly in order to meet friendly people. It's like a give and take. But I do understand some people. It's like hard to make friends, especially in a foreign land, especially in a different language. It's like even though Filipinos speak English, in the province, it's English is not spoken all the time. So Filipinos, like here in Aklan province, they will struggle with English. It's like the locals that you will meet here, because most of the locals here are either farmers or fishermen. A lot of the older people that I've met, the locals here that are older, a lot of them, they have maybe high school education, not even graduate high school. So, they'll try to speak English, but they struggle. It's not the same if you go to Dumaguete City, Angeles City, where the expats are, Cebu City. They speak English well there. That's not going to be an issue. Not going to be an issue, and not going to be an issue to meet people. That's why people flock to those areas. That's why people go to like where expats go, because you don't feel so alone. You don't feel so alone. But there's a good and bad to that, because then you're leaving a country where you want to get away from the expats, or then you go to a place where there's a lot of expats. So it's a balance. Always it's a balance that you have to, what works for you, it's always an individual choice here. if you purchase a repo motorcycle from a dealer, will I be able to just go to the LT? Oh, yes, yes. When it's a repo, when it's a second use bike, it's easier to register it. You can just like you'll have the registration instantly because there's already a ORCR. It's already complete the bike. Instead of like if you buy it brand new, it's like a crazy process that you got to go through. That's why a lot of times a lot of expats here just buy a used motorbike because it's a lot easier. The buying the new motorcycle, I don't get it, JP, why they make it so difficult, but it's a challenge getting brand new motorcycle registered to your name. It's a lot easier when it's just there's already a title and it's just transferring to you. That's like an easier process. That's why most expats here buy used motorcycles. All right, all right. Thank you, Joel, for blocking some of those comments because we always get people. Appreciate it, Joel. What are some of the fruits that are difficult to find in your area? And say cherries. Cherries. Yeah, I don't see cherries in Aklan. Most of anywhere in the Philippines, the common fruits always mangoes. Mangoes and bananas. There's just a ton varieties of mangoes, varieties of bananas, so watermelon, cherries. Not so much. I don't see cherries here in Aklan province, but we have a lot of tropical fruits that rambutan, lanzones. There's a lot of native tropical fruits that are just like it's so many. So it's so abundant, so abundant. But there's certain things that you won't find. It's hard. Strawberries, any berries. Berries are not common in the Philippines because I guess berries grow on colder climate, and this is a tropical. So most of your tropical fruits grow here, but not the cold climate fruits or berries. I don't see many berries. Like strawberries here, usually you have to go to like Baguio City in Luzon. But like when they'll ship some to here to Aklan, but they're like tiny, but that they get here. I know who that is. And I saw you, Gray. What are some of the fruits that are difficult to find in your area? Say cherries. No more mangoes. No more mangoes. Yeah, Gray, my friend. When we were in Boracay together, we were hanging out. Everything here in the Philippines is mango. He was like, man, no more mangoes. He's like, mango for breakfast, mango on everything, mango for dinner. They put mango on a salad. They put mango on a smoothie bowl. I mean, everything mango. So my friend Gray is like, no more mangoes, no more mangoes, because it's abundant. It's so abundant here, mangoes here. All right. I got to the bottom of the comments. Let me look at my notes here. Usually what I do is I prepare things, just in case I don't get questions. I prepare things that we already, 4th of July, I made sure I mentioned that. And then the weather and then Bising. All right. Like I said, on Monday, we're headed out to Iloilo City. Gonna meet a few friends. I have friends in Iloilo City. And then if there's anything like you wanted me to check on Iloilo City, I probably won't be able to do live streams in Iloilo City because the hotel where we stay, the Injep Hotel, I'll try to do a live stream there before and no love. I didn't get no success. Their internet is not... it's surprising because, Iloilo City, that's a big city. You would think that maybe just the hotel where we're staying, their internet was no good. So I probably won't do any live streams starting Monday to Thursday. I'll just focus on making videos of Iloilo City, like restaurants in Iloilo City, the city, just an update, because it's been a while, at least 6 months, the last time we were in Iloilo City, I think. So I'll make a few videos while I'm in Iloilo City. We missed mangosteen last year. Yeah, yeah, man. I see them now. I see mangosteen. They're at the public market, Joel. Every time I go to the fruit stand, I'm seeing avocados right now. It's in season. Mangosteen. I haven't seen the rambutan yet. You know, when rambutan comes out, it's red and it's got that kind of fur looking thing. You see them everywhere, but right now what I'm seeing is avocados. I've seen mangosteen. Um, there's seasonal fruits here that you don't see all the time. For some reason, I'm seeing kiwi. I don't know where they get it, but every time I go to the fruit stand now, I'm buying kiwi because Dazzle and Leanna, they like kiwi. And I never used to see that here, you know. I don't know if they buy it from somewhere else. I guess people are starting to eat kiwi, you know, that's why. And they, you know, Dazzle and Leanna likes it, so I buy it when I go to the fruit stands. And then we're gonna check out, for sure we're gonna check out, there's a restaurant that my friend Steve, I think Tatoy's in, he wanted to eat at Tatoy's in Iloilo. I haven't eaten there, so I'll have to Google it. I'll have to like search for that restaurant. Um, and then hang out at SM City Iloilo for sure. I know the movie Superman is coming out here in the Philippines. It's scheduled to come out July 11th in the US, but movies always start here earlier in the Philippines. So I think Superman movie comes out July 9th in Iloilo City, and they're showing it on IMAX. So I might watch another movie. You know, if it's showing on IMAX, if Superman is showing on IMAX, I'd like to see that. I like to see that movie. Wow, I was avocados. Oh my god, great. Retracted. All right, no worries, no worries. Yesterday, I was talking a little bit, you know, about Panay Island yesterday. I got a few questions. You know, it's like the thing that people always ask me. There's a big difference, even though Panay Island, even though our province, we're not far from Iloilo province. From our house, it'll probably take me about 4 hours to drive to Iloilo City, but usually people can do it in three and a half. I just drive slow. I just, you know, I'm super careful when I drive here in the Philippines because there's so many things to look at on the road here, like to be on the lookout. You know, when you're driving here, I mean, you got to be alert. You know, you can't be like half asleep or half stepping when you're driving here. You have to like pay attention. Uh, you know, not just the vehicles in front of you coming at you, motorbikes from all angles, people crossing the highway. I mean, this is highway. I'm talking about national highway, and people are crossing, and dogs, goats. You know, I mean, it's just tricycles making a U-turn on the highway. It's just a lot to pay attention when you're driving. That's why I take my time. I never pass. You know, if I'm behind a truck, I'll just behind the truck. You know, because it's like, to me, it's dangerous to pass. Over here in the Philippines, it's not like in the U.S. In the U.S., if it's clear, you can pass on the left. Here in the Philippines, they'll pass on the right. They'll pass on the left. They'll cut. I mean, motorbikes are cutting through traffic. I mean, it's just like, it's crazy driving. That's why I try to take my time. Just careful. I'm always careful when I drive. You know, especially Steve and Nova's riding with us. When I have people riding with me, I'm always super careful because I don't want to get in an accident. If you get in an accident here, it doesn't work like in the U.S. You know, trying to figure out whose fault it is and stuff. You know, it's like a lot of, and then you got to worry. A lot of times, vehicles here, tricycles especially, won't have insurance. You know, that kind of thing. So I do all I can to avoid an accident when I'm driving. I just take my time. I let people cut in front of me. I don't try to like. I'm the one that gives people way. You know, it's like, to me, when I drive, it's like my concern is just getting from point A to point B in one piece. You know, no accidents. You know, nothing like. So I'm not in a hurry. I'm retired. You know, it's like I don't have to be anywhere in a hurry, and understand. You know, it's like the public transportation here, the vans, the L3 vans, the buses, the series buses. they're trying to beat the clock. They're trying to get from point A to point B the fastest. That way, what happens with the public transportation here, the vans and the buses, when they get to the point B, from point A to point B, when they get to point B, they gotta stand in line for that to go from point B to point A. So the faster they can beat the other vehicles, the other public transportation to get to point B, the quicker they are in line. So the faster they drive, the more passengers that travel, the more money they can make today. That's why they're such in a hurry, But it's just so dangerous, because especially at least now it's sunny, it's like sun, but when it's the road conditions are wet, they do not slow down. That's why the minute it rains, it's like it doubles the amount of accidents on the road because they do not slow down. It's like the public transportation. And unfortunately, like the highways here in Panay Island, I have not seen like a highway patrol or somebody with a radar gun, or there's nothing, So it's like these semi trucks, series buses, these vans, they can just fly on the highways. They can just go as fast as they can. Nobody's ever gonna stop them, There's areas I know, like where James and Karen live in Balete. There's a corner there. It's a tricky corner in Balete, Aklan. I mean, there's an accident there almost every day. There's semi trucks, vans falling on the ravine there. It's just like, it's crazy how you would think, they put signs that say slow down. They ignore those signs here. Unfortunately, they ignore them. Edgar, when you land at the airport going to Boracay, you said it's just easier to use the van service because they can handle your luggage and all the port fees, no lines, so you save. Yes, you save time. I think my friend Michael and Rose, when they came to Boracay, they availed that. What the service provides is like, I think you're gonna be a foreigner, so they charge foreigners like environmental fee, 300 pesos for environmental fee, 150 pesos for terminal fee, and 50 pesos for the boat fee. So right there, you're looking at 500 already. So 500 just at the port. And then if you ride a tricycle from the airport to Aklan port, they'll probably charge you 100 to 150. So that's like 650. And then when you get to Boracay, they'll probably charge you another 150 to get to a hotel. So you're looking at right there, you're gonna spend about 800 anyway to just from the airport to get you to the hotel. That about 800 one way. So those transport service, normally they'll charge you a little extra, add on another 200, but they walk you through the line. And then you won't be confused. Like when you get to the terminal at Aklan, the port, there's going to be hundreds of people at the port. There's going to be people calling you out, here, tourists, non-tourists, doing this. And then when you walk in there, you're going to see window 1, registration, window 2, environmental fee, window 3, terminal fee. It's confusing, and you got to stand in line one at a time. And then your luggage got to go through screening. It's just chaos at the Aklan ports. It's easier when you hire those guys because they'll cut you through the line. They get preferential treatment. It's like Southwest Tours is one of them. They'll handle your luggage. They'll have porters to carry your luggage. So like you don't want to carry your luggage anyway, especially if your luggage is like 40 kilograms, heavy luggage, because when you get on the ferry, the boat, you have to walk this plank. It's like a wooden plank, and sometimes it's like this, sometimes it's like this. And if you're carrying luggage, the railing on it is like really skinny. And if you got heavy luggage, they got porters to carry your luggage. To me, it's like one additional service that you can get that way. All you do is kind of like follow them. Somebody's carrying your luggage, to get you there. For people that's been to Boracay to save money, they can do it on their own. But if it's your first time, I highly recommend you use like those services. You'll see them when you land at the airport. You'll see them. They're right there when you coming into like from your plane. When your plane lands, the way it works here, your plane lands, you go down the stairs, you ride a bus, the bus takes you to the arrival area, and those guys are going to be right there, Southwest Tours, trying to transport to your hotel in Boracay, because they know how to do it. They get preferential treatment at the port. Makes life easier than trying to figure it out on your own. Like my friend Gray, when I picked him up, I actually picked up Gray at the airport in my car, and then we got to the boat, and Gray had like heavy suitcases, and we got to the port, and Gray was just standing there. I'm not lifting, because the ramp, you'll see the ramp. It's like a piece of wood, like a ramp going up this way. And Gray just stood at the bottom of the ramp, and he's like looking at his luggage, like somebody gonna carry my luggage, because I ain't gonna go up there. And sure enough, Gray was surprised. This gentleman, he just like grabbed Gray's luggage. He had two heavy suitcases, 40 kilos at least each. And this guy just lifted one in his hand, put the other one on his shoulder, and he's going up the ramp, balancing himself on the ramp, climbing on the boat. But they're porters; they're used to that. Gray was saying like, "Ooh, that gotta hurt the guy's back." Climb. But I told him, man, they do that all day. It's nothing for them. I've actually, and this is no lie, this is the truth. I've actually seen a guy one time, and I couldn't believe it. One of those things that, when you see it, you're like, did I just see that? Did that guy just do that? There's this one guy one time on those ramp on the ferry. It was a cargo ferry. It's not a passenger. It's cargo ferry is different. It's the same boat, but supplies to Boracay. And this one guy one time, it was on the beach. This boat was parked on the beach, so the ramp was locked on the beach, like on the sand. And I could not believe what I saw. This guy, a motorcycle, a 125, like my Mio I motorcycle, a 125cc. I mean, they're good size, but they're heavy. This guy lifted that thing and he carried it into the boat. I was like, I've never seen anything like that. And he was walking the plank and carrying a motorbike. I was like, what the heck, man? Wish you and Dazzle could go fishing to the river that Karen and James found that had the big fish in it. Oh yeah, I saw the video. They went to Kipot Falls. That's far though. That's far, Captain Ron, because we don't have I don't know if my tricycle will make it that far. Plus, it's too far enough to ride on my tricycle Bumblebee. The farthest I can go, usually I'll go maybe 45 minutes, because it's not comfortable ride. Like after a while, it's like when I'm sitting like that, I'm not used to like riding motorcycles. Usually 45 minutes is my limit if I go anywhere. And I saw the road where James and Karen went. They went to like, they were in like a single motorbike, and they're going through like, I know our tricycle won't make it there. And a car wouldn't make it there either. We would have to, like, if we go to that place, we would have to drive my car, then hire somebody to take us to that falls area. Cherries are hard to find here, but plenty of mangoes, guavas, lanzones, and plenty of, like I said, plenty of tropical fruits. The fruits that are hard to find are like the cold weather berries, strawberries, any kind of berries. You don't see many berries in our province anyway. It's like when I go to the grocery or public market, I hardly ever see strawberries. And then if I do see strawberries, like at Save More Grocery, they come like in a little plastic container, and they're like 300 pesos. It's like too much for like little strawberries. If you go to Mindanao, you can find durian, marang. Yep, marang, we have that. I have seen marang here in Aklan. Durian, no, I haven't seen durian here. I have not gone to Mindanao. It's like Dazzle. I could never make her go to Mindanao. She doesn't like to fly anywhere anyway. And if we have to fly, Mindanao is not on Dazzle's list of places to go. Because here in the Philippines, Mindanao always kind of got that stigma. It's like I'm okay with it. I would, I would go to Mindanao. I would visit it. But a lot of Filipinos look at Mindanao like as a dangerous, and I know it's not. It's not dangerous. You got Davao, safe city, Cagayan de Oro. There's a lot of safe cities, but always has a stigma. I think with Filipinos, there's many Filipinos that will tell you it's like I'll never go to Mindanao. It's like just because stuff happens in Mindanao. Stuff that don't happen in Visayas and Luzon. It's like. Even the U.S. State Department, the U.S. Embassy in Manila, I think they've had a forever warning about going to Mindanao. They warn Americans going to Mindanao. You can do a no scammers in Katiklan. Been lazy. Edgar, 2 suitcases. Been lazy, 2 suitcases. Once you are out of the airport, just 100 meters walk, there are tuk-tuks. If you're alone, just join others if you're the two. Okay, Edgar. All right. You can search Boracay Pass and register there. That will get you easy entry to the ports. Yeah, I've heard about those online. I haven't tried it, so I couldn't tell you like the success rate, the success rate, because a lot of times here in the Philippines, anything online registration, anything like that, it might work in the beginning, but a lot of times after 6 months they no longer work. That's my experience with a lot of they don't update it. A lot of websites, a lot of times you'll get that error doesn't work. So people get frustrated with them with websites here. I will do it your way, but with suitcases, I will be lazy. Help the economy of the city. Help the economy of the city. Hey, anything to help. Anything will help. Yes, JB. Even my friend Gray will tell you that he brought too much. He brought too much. He was coming in from Thailand, and my friend, he's a doctor, so he's got like medical supplies, medical gadgets. So he did. He would tell you that. Even he would tell you that his luggage has that. They put a sticker on his luggage that says heavy. Heavy. Alvaro Reyes, greetings from Houston. All right, Alvaro. All right, my sister is in Houston, Texas. I have relatives that live in Houston. I used to go to Houston before I came to the Philippines in 2011. Houston was kind of like our place to family get together, like for Christmas and Thanksgiving. This was even when I was living in Arizona. The meeting place always seems to be Houston. There are porters you can tip Philippine if you are generous, tip 100. Yep. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so again, I was talking about Iloilo City. So during my visit on Iloilo City this time, I'll get a chance to look at condominiums again, look at housing, because that always changes. It's like with anything else, prices go up and down, because depending on occupancy of the condo. So I'll get a good view this time on my friend Frederick. He sent me his old condo at the Palladium, I think Palladium. So I'll be able to check that. One Madison, and then another friend of mine forwarded another condo for me. I think it was 33,000. Really nice condo. So most of the time, like in Iloilo City, it's the condominiums is where foreigners like to rent, because the condominiums in Iloilo, the top-notch ones, the newer ones, there's two kinds. There's like the older condominiums. You can usually get them cheaper, but they're not as updated. And then the updated one, the ones at Mega World, Avida Towers, Madison One, Palladium, those condos. And I've been noticing, like for one bedroom condos, they start at around 30,000 pesos, all the way up to 45,000 pesos. Again, it just depends on the amenities and how nice the unit is. Because it's amazing here regarding condos, even in Iloilo, when I start looking for condos. It could be in the same building, and when you open the door to the condo, it could be right next to each other, but one is like, wow, it's like somebody made an interior decorator, and then the next one is like empty looking, hardly any furniture. It's weird how it's like that. And then that's where you get the varying of price. Of course, the more fancy looking condo, the view too, the balcony, what view you get, it's the way they charge on the condos. But I'll get to see. I'll see if I can at least film one. It's like I'll try to film one of the condos that I'll look at this coming week, because I know I'll be able to look at a couple, because I'm helping a friend find his place. But at least I'm happy to help him, because it's like, he didn't feel comfortable about landing in Cebu City and then just winging it, just like trying to find it, because he couldn't find anything online, and then he couldn't get he was getting mixed messages from people. Like I said, it's just a lot easier if you have somebody here to guide you, to at least help you. At least for me, like with my friend that's coming from Manila, I can at least tell him that doesn't sound right. I can filter, like whatever he finds on his own. I can look at the ad, I can look at the going rate in Iloilo City, and I can tell him, that's too much. They're asking too much. At least somebody local that can help. JB Manalang, how much is rentals at your subdivision? All right. Good question. Again, even in our subdivision here, JB, the way it works here, most of the units here, it's private owners. So that's why you get varying prices again. It's like for our house here, it's a 2-bedroom. We have 2 bedrooms upstairs, a 1 bathroom, 430 square feet. And we have a yard. I can park my car in the yard. I cemented it. This type of unit, like here at Camellia, you can get it below 10,000 pesos a month. So about 180, 190 and below. And when I say below, it could range between 5,000 to 10,000. It just depends what the unit offers. It's like, do they have, some units, simple thing like a cabinet, there's no cabinets, or it's not tiled, so that's the variety. I had one video I made, my friend Glenn, now he lives there. He's an expat. I filmed it. It was a 3-bedroom. Yeah, I think 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, garage, up and down balcony, nice, fully furnished. And the advertised price was like 410, but he got it lower, because again, everything is negotiable here. It just depends on what you're looking for, JB. If you're really interested, you can contact me offline, and I can even send you pictures on what's available. But again, like some of them will be most of the houses here are unfurnished, unfortunately. And I know a lot of expats, when they come here, they want furnished because they don't want to. And that's my recommendation anyway. I always tell people, because unless you really are fixed on staying, because the minute you start accumulating things here, it's harder to move. That's why I always like Ruben's perfect situation in Calibo. He's been there since January. Halfway through the year now, it's July, 6 months. He's got a furnished studio apartment, so he doesn't have to buy anything, and he hasn't. I think the only thing that Ruben's bought, he bought a chair. Like he likes like a really comfortable reclining chair, so he bought that. That's the only thing he's bought ever since he got here. Because the more you buy, the minute you buy stuff, it's going to be harder for you to move. Like let's say my friend Kerry, when he was in Boracay, he started accumulating things. When it was time for him to move, he decided to move to Dumaguete. Man, it was hard to move, to move with a lot of stuff, A lot easier when you don't accumulate things. That's why I always tell people, the first year in the Philippines, if you decide to move here or decide to retire in the Philippines, your first year is like, you're live as frugal as you can. Don't buy anything. Get a one bedroom apartment, furnished. That way you're not buying stuff, because that adds it. Like if you have to buy like a refrigerator, you have to buy a stove, a washer and dryer. That adds up. It's like, to me, if you're not really committed, if you're not really sure about staying in the Philippines, why buy all that stuff? Because if you buy it, especially if you buy it new, you'll be lucky if you get half the price. If you're moving to get rid of it, just to get rid of stuff, you're gonna lose money. It's better to just like your first year, rent a furnished apartment, don't buy anything, be frugal. That way you can see if whatever pension you're receiving, you can see if you're gonna make it here in the Philippines. You will know that. Like my friend Michael in Trece Martires, in August, he'll be here 2 years. And he knows that he can make it here now. It's like me and him were talking when we were in Boracay, because he's able to save every month from his pension. To me, that is the sign that you've made it in the Philippines. It's like 2 years that every month he's able to save money from the pension. He's good to go. He's smooth sailing now. It's when your pension is like paycheck to paycheck. You get a pension and then you're barely making rent every month, or you're needing money for, or you're charging your credit card. Not a good thing. It's not a good thing if you're like, you get here and you're charging stuff in your credit card, you're accumulating debt. To me, you're headed to trouble. Those are the ones that don't make it in the Philippines. It's the one that whatever pension they bring, they're spending more what they bring every month. You're headed for disaster. Because what happens if an emergency happens? What happens if you get sick? There's no Medicare here. Your treatment's going to come out of pocket. So if you're not putting a nest egg, you're not building your emergency fund. That's why people become not successful with their retirement here. I hate to ask, might be a source, but did they open up your pool? No, they have not opened the swimming pool. Right now, they have elections. Our HOA will have elections come, I think the 2nd of August, the day after my birthday. I got in a circular. I'm hoping that hopefully we get new board members that really care about our community. They actually asked me if I wanted to run, but I just don't have the time, and I know it's almost like an impossible task. It's like it's funny how we have a group. We have a group here, like a HOA communication group, like on Messenger. It's like, and there's two groups. HOA 1, HOA 2, and they're against each other. So to me, it's like it's unfortunate that happens, but I guess that's from what I'm hearing from people, that's common here in the Philippines. Like I guess that's one warning I would say to people if they buy a home in a gated community that will be run by the HOA, there's gonna be problems. For me, it was like I thought we were smooth sailing. It's like we moved in here 2016, and I would say our pool was working until last year, 2024. So for 8 years we had a swimming pool. We had our community was nice. Everything was like manicured. We had gardeners. We had more security guards. But the minute the Camellia Aklan, I guess the corporation, Manny Balyar's corporation, Camellia, the minute that they turned it over to the HOA and the HOA had to manage it, it's been a disaster. It's been a disaster, honestly. So, it's like I don't think it's gonna get fixed. Unfortunately, I'm still hoping. It's like I always try to think positive, but it doesn't look like it's gonna get fixed. I don't think our swimming pool. I don't think we'll ever recover our swimming pool. Thanks for the info, Gino. All right, you're welcome, JB. Iloilo City, can you check for good dentists and good healthcare? I can check with the doctor because I have good doctors at Medical City. Dentist, it's like unfortunately, Edgar, I have not found a good dentist anywhere, like here in Calibo, Rojas City, and I'm sure Iloilo City would be the same. It's like not as easy here finding it because I would have to schedule an appointment or the thing here, a lot of times you go to the dentist, they put you on a list, it takes forever to get seen. Dentists, I haven't been able to maneuver here in the Philippines. It's not easy. It's not like easy like it is in the US. Yeah. But medical, no problem. Medical, I have a good faith in medical system in Iloilo City. Medical City, Iloilo, top-notch hospital. That's why I'll take my friend Steve there. But I have not found, maybe somebody out there has an idea of a good dentist in Panay Island. Please let me know. Please let me know. Usually the dentists here are just kind of like private dentists doing dentistry in their house or maybe a small clinic. I haven't found like a real legit dentist with like x-ray machines, complete dentistry. I haven't found that here, unfortunately. The heart of our home. Hi, Gino. Good morning there. Afternoon here in Oceanside. Oh, I love Oceanside. I've been there before, long time ago. I love Oceanside, California. I want to ask you, do you visit VA for all your men? No, I'm here in the Philippines. The good thing you brought that topic, the VA. VA doesn't work the same in the Philippines as it is in the US. In the US, you have, if you're a veteran, you have VA hospitals. None of that. Zero VA hospitals here in the Philippines. There's a VA clinic, a small clinic in Manila. And the clinic only sees you for service-connected disability. If you have a service-connected disability, that clinic will see you. And from what I'm hearing from people, a lot of times, the clinic just refers you to like hospitals around Manila. They're just a referral. Very small clinic in Manila. And actually, there's actually talk about it being shut down. Hopefully it doesn't happen because I know there's a lot of service-connected disability people here, U.S. military people. I think the funding, the Philippines is the only country outside of the United States that even has a VA clinic. Even countries like Germany, Canada, they don't have a VA outside. All the VA facilities are either in the United States or an American territory, Guam. But the Philippines actually is the only one. And with the new things are working. I know the Guam. They're trying to make Guam as like the regional VA for the Pacific region, including the Philippines. So actually, the VA clinic in Manila, I saw a message or on one of my groups that they're actually might be in jeopardy about closing that. Hopefully not, because I know many veterans, United States military veterans here in the Philippines, use the VA clinic for service-connected disability only. TRICARE is what I use. I'm blessed that I have TRICARE. I'm so grateful for the United States military. I'm retired military, so I'm eligible for TRICARE. So I have TRICARE insurance here in the Philippines. I've done many videos on TRICARE. You can look at the playlist. I have a TRICARE playlist on our YouTube channel if you're interested. Filing TRICARE hospitals here. You can look at the playlist and watch the videos. You can learn a lot. I actually forwarded to a friend of mine, a chief master sergeant of the Air Force, retired. in Lipa, Batangas. I forwarded some of my videos on TRICARE, and he was very thankful because I've explained it through the videos. But if you have TRICARE, that's the only reason I'm able to retire in the Philippines early. You know, I was retired here when I was 45. I'll be 59, so 14 years retired here in the Philippines now. If I did not have TRICARE medical insurance, I don't think I could have retired here in the Philippines because I would be worried about medical coverage. But because I have TRICARE United States military insurance, I'm able to retire here because they pay for 75% of my medical care. I still pay 25%. It's not free. You know, nothing's free anymore. Even in the military, nothing's free anymore. But I'm happy that I have that insurance because I had to go through cancer treatments 2.5 years ago. And my chemo treatments, my 12 chemo treatments, my 33 radiation treatments, my medications, all my medications were covered by TRICARE. So I was able to afford that. You know, that would have been a lot of money out of pocket if I didn't have TRICARE medical insurance in the Philippines. Fortune Ibiernes. Yes, Edgar, Iloilo City is a top-notch city. Yes, I always tell people, to me, my humble opinion, Iloilo City is the best city in the Philippines. Now, dental, I haven't found. Ever found in Iloilo City. I'm sure they got it. I'm sure they got it, Edgar, if you start researching it. But the way appointments here in the Philippines work, it's not as easy as it is in the U.S., you know. Like if I wanted to schedule a dental appointment here, I would have to call the clinic or the dental clinic. They do not give, in our province anyway, in Aklan, they do not give out like a certain time. 9 a.m. your appointment for dental, or 9 a.m. your appointment for your gastroenteritis or your oncologist. The way it works here is they put you on a list, and the list could be lengthy. So when you have medical appointments here or dental appointments here, expect a long waiting time. Expect 2, 3, 4 hours waiting time to see the doctor or the dentist. It doesn't work like the same in the U.S. where you have your own time, because here it's they put you on a list. They put you on a list and they see you when they see you. You know, it's like maybe it's different like in a city, maybe in Manila or Cebu, the bigger cities, but the province just works like that. Everything here is kind of, they put you on the waiting list. Edgar, I wonder if the new MAGA World Pride might have some good mega world in the future. I'll see. You know, if I go to a festive walk, the Mega World, if we make it there, I have seen I have seen a dental in a SM City Iloilo, but I haven't gone in. You know, I couldn't recommend anything that I haven't tried. You know, I take pictures of it. I might make a video outside. Hey, Edgar, here's a dental clinic at SM City Iloilo, but you know, I just can't recommend unless I try it. You know, it's like. I can't tell people, hey, go here, it's nice, and then I never went to it. You know, I won't do that. I'll show you what's available, and then it'll be up to you if you wanted to try them or not. Thank you so much, Ginno. We are wondering, what can we do for medical insurance? Do you have to come back yearly to the U.S. to keep your VA benefits? My VA I do not have VA benefits. I did not get anything from the VA. I do not have a service-connected disability, so I have not been back in the United States, and not like I want to go back. No, it's like I have no plans on going back to the U.S. I'm perfectly fine here in the Philippines. I got my TRICARE insurance, so I got that the medical part covered. There's really no reason for me to go back to the United States. The heart of our house. Thank you. I will start watching and sharing your videos. This is so helpful. We are planning to move. All right. Thank you. Yes, if you check, I think you will find my TRICARE videos very informational, because not many people talk about TRICARE here, and I'm not going to call myself TRICARE expert or anything like that, but I get a lot of questions about TRICARE and I answer. You can contact me on all our videos. We have on the description box on our videos, my contact information is there. My WhatsApp, my Messenger, my email. Might be better if you have more specific questions, you can ask me and I always answer. I've never deleted or not answered anybody on the people that message me. Yes, I am dual citizen. When I first came here, I wasn't dual citizen. I would recommend if you're coming to the Philippines, wanting to move here or retire here, to get your dual citizenship in the United States. A lot easier. All you have to do is go to the Philippine consulate near you. And if you're in San Diego, there's a Los Angeles. I think San Diego might even have a Philippine consulate, but a lot easier to do it there than wait till you get here. Because if you do it here, you have to go to Manila, and me, I try to avoid Manila as much as I can. It's like I was born and raised in Manila. That's where I grew up in Manila, but it's just hard to maneuver Manila. The traffic, the pollution, the chaos in Manila. It's like I don't go often to Manila. I think the only time I've gone to Manila is if I need to go to the U.S. Embassy, and then when we got our COVID shot at the VA clinic. The VA clinic did offer COVID shots before. When the COVID vaccine wasn't available in the Philippines, the VA clinic, Dazzle, and I flew there because Dazzle's my dependent. Dazzle's also a TRICARE. She's eligible for TRICARE. She's got a military ID card. So you are so helpful. Thank you so much. All right, you're welcome. You're welcome. That's my goal. I just try to be as helpful as I can. Honest information. It's like I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm not gonna tell you the Philippines is the greatest place to retire or move. It's not. It's not. The Philippines is not for everyone. That's I always say. It's not as easy a move that people might think. I know they watch videos. Some vloggers here make it look like it's so easy to move to the Philippines. I mean, it's cheaper. Don't get me wrong. A lot. I mean, especially if you're coming from California. I mean, it's like I've seen the rent. People tell me how much rent is in the United States. It's unbelievable in California, especially. And that's where you would save a lot if you move to the Philippines. If you do decide to retire here, would be on the cost of housing. Cost of housing is a lot cheaper here. But there are also a lot of items here that comparable costs, like in the United States, and sometimes it's even more. Like if you're on a diet of like steaks, if you like eating American steaks, here in the Philippines, you would have to get it at SNR in Iloilo City. Australian beef, it's not cheap here. It's cheap here in the Philippines if you can retire and start eating Filipino food. If you like Filipino food or you're willing to try Filipino food, you will save money here. Like for us, it's easy because I'm Filipino. We're all Filipinos, so we eat Filipino food, and that's a lot of savings because we can cook the local vegetables, the local meat, even like the fish, the seafood. We eat that. But I know some people picky. I know some expats are picky on what they eat. I had a friend when he moved there. He tried the Philippines. He lasted, I think, a year. Now he's in Thailand. He's in Thailand for 2 years, and he's much happier in Thailand because the food suits him better because he says he can eat a lot more salad in Thailand, and he likes that the food in Thailand caters more to expats. He can eat the normal stuff that he used to eat in the US. The Philippines hasn't gotten to that point. Like one of the things that surprises me about the Philippines is Filipinos don't eat a lot of salad, like fresh garden salad. Not common in the Philippines. It's like it's even hard to find lettuce here. They started to, like here in Aklan province, I'm been able to buy lettuce, but it's not cheap. The lettuce is not cheap, and the variety. You know how in the US, when we have salad, there's different types of, arugula, spinach, different kinds of salad that we can make. Here, the salad pretty much in our province anyway, I can make a salad with lettuce, and it's just plain lettuce and cucumber, tomato, onion. That's kind of like, I don't have a lot of like the different types of garden salad, the good mixture. It's not served at restaurants. It's not served at a McDonald's, a fast food. Like in the US, I know a McDonald's or Burger King, there's usually like a small garden salad you can order. It's not available here. I guess the Filipino diet is just not into like fresh garden salad. And I think it's hard to maintain for the restaurant, so it's not profitable for them to carry a garden salad because it's hard to keep. It's like they spoil so fast. Hello, Z Roberts 21. Hello. Yes, Manila immigrant gave me so much issues. All right, at that time, I wasn't USA citizen yet. It made me decide to change my citizenship as soon as I came back. LOL. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the immigration, like the office in Manila, that would be the place if you want dual citizenship. That's the place where you would have to go to get dual citizenship. That's why I said, I would highly recommend you do it in the United States before you leave to get. It's a simple process. It's basically. You get a certificate, you pledge allegiance to the Philippine government. The food looks, JB, amazing, especially when cooked by Dazzle. Yes, yeah. I mean, they're great cooks. I mean, Dazzle and Mom, I'm spoiled, JP. I'm spoiled because we eat good. I mean, we eat good. I'm not gonna lie. We do eat good. They have a lot on their, they know how to cook a lot of Filipino food. They know how to make it tasty. Add vegetables to it and things like that. They're very creative. Yes, garden salad is like a luxury. Correct, right? It's a luxury in the field. Hard to find. Hard to find a salad bar. A restaurant with a salad bar. I think at one time Wendy's had a salad type thing, but I have not seen a salad bar. Like I could go to Iloilo City now and I can't find a salad bar. The closest I can get to a garden salad in even in a big city in Iloilo City, SM City Mall, big mall, at Kenny Rogers Roasters. They have a couple of little salads that I can get, like a Connie salad. They put mango in it, lettuce, but not very like you said, luxury in the Philippines to eat a garden salad. Hello from Baltimore. All right, Baltimore. Since you are retired, have you looked into flying for vacation? Lots of flight options from Yokota, Kadena. Yes, I have flown. It's been a while. It's like, I think the last time I flew was when I was still active duty. I was stationed in Japan. I was stationed in Korea. So I retired in 2004, and I have not flown Space A. Space A, for people that don't know, it's the military aircraft, usually a cargo plane like a C-130, C-141, C-5, and it doesn't cost us. It costs us like maybe $10 when I used to fly Space A, and you can fly on the military planes, but they do not have Space A in the Philippines. That's the thing. So if I want to catch a hop, from a military hop, I would have to go to Kadena. I would have to go to Yokota or Osan. Zero hops here in the Philippines. So it's not available in the Philippines, Space A travel. And Dazzle, she doesn't like to fly, like I said. I can't even make Dazzle fly to Manila. It's like that's why this year we haven't flown to anywhere this year. Dazzle and I have gone to Singapore before, but she swears that's the last time she's flying that long. And Singapore was only 4 hours, and she doesn't like flying at all. JB, we need heavy food because Filipinos have a big working day ahead. That's why I see that, the tricycle drivers, the farmers, they eat big meals. I mean, they eat rice for breakfast. My family flew to the Philippines via Travis from Guam, then commercial flight to Manila. Took a few days but saved thousands. All right, yeah. For us, man, for me anyway, it's like as let me make sure I charge the phone here because it's gonna die here. My phone doesn't hold. For me, the thing with me is like as I had gotten older, I'll be 59 here soon. Less than a month, I'll be 59. I don't like traveling anymore. Not like I used to, And for me, I've traveled enough. 20 years in the military, I traveled all over the world. And then when I retired here in 2011, 2012, one of the first things I did when I retired here in the Philippines was traveled Southeast Asia. I went through Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Hong Kong, Thailand. I'm pretty much done. I'm pretty much done with traveling. It's like I just find it difficult to travel now. It's not. I don't enjoy it as much. I don't fly first class. I'm on a budget. It's like so when I fly, I'm 5'10", so I'm not the smallest Filipino. So it's like my knees always like hit the seat in front of me in economy. I just don't find traveling fun. To me, it's like it wears me out. Just waiting at airports, delays. You gotta check in, your security checks. Now here in the Philippines, you gotta wrap your baggage, your luggage. You gotta wrap it in plastic. That way, nobody puts a bullet in it. Things like that. To me, it's just it's a hassle. It's a hassle. To me, right now, my plans for Dazzle and I, and since Dazzle doesn't like to fly anyway, we'll continue like we've taken our car here in the Philippines. We took it to Luzon. We took that 12-hour ferry from Aklan here in Visaya all the way to Batangas. And then we drove in Luzon for 30 days. Drove everywhere, Batangas, Tagaytay, Angeles City, Subic, Vegan, Baguio, Pagudpod. We did that 30 days. And then we did the same thing in Negros Island. We took our car, we ferried it over to Bacolod, and we drove all the way to Dumaguete, visited Darwin, visited just places in Negros. The next trip I'm thinking is taking our car to Cebu and then traveling all of Cebu. I think that's about the traveling I'm doing. It's like on a ferry and on the car because me, I enjoy long driving, and I don't get to do long driving much here in Panay Island because like even Monday when I drive from our house to Iloilo City is only 4 hours. That's probably the longest drive I can. A road trip anyway, 4 hours. That's the longest drive I can do here in Panay Island. So I miss it. I miss when I was in the U.S. I love cross country, right? California to Florida. That was I used to drive that all the time, and I miss that. So I think I'm gonna limit more into just like ferry travel by boat and then car travel. It's like airlines. Not so much anymore for me. I'll bring homemade tamales. Ooh, nice. And trade. Hey, man, I love me some tamales now. I did find a tamales, JP, authentic Mexican tamales in Boracay. So now I have a go-to place for tamales in Boracay at Muchos. Muchos on Front Beach. Yeah, it's like I've been there. I've done the military hops. I was in the Air Force for 20 years, so I've done my share of military hops. I've hopped from Japan to Korea, Korea to Guam, to Hawaii, to Washington State, to Travis. So I've done my share of military hops. I mean, they're cheap, but there's a reason why they're cheap. There's a lot of a hassle, a lot of waiting, being put on a waiting list. Delays, you got to be patient when you travel. On the military hop, on the military hop. If you tell Dazzle there's good fishing, she might consider flying. Yeah, I think so. I think so. But there's enough for us. It's like for us. To me, living out my days, here in Aklan province, to me, I'm good, man. It's like One of the goals may be moving to Boracay one day. Maybe 2 or 3 years from now, we'll move to Boracay, and I'm content. I'm at the point of my life where I'm just happy to be alive, thankful to be alive, grateful for every sunrise, every sunset I see. It's like I really don't have a bucket list anymore. I don't. I think when I went through my cancer treatments, I survived cancer. To me, my bucket list to me is complete. It's like I just want to live out my days happy. I just want to like enjoy my family, enjoy Dazzle, Leanna, mom. That's why I even tell Dazzle all the time. Try not to stress about anything. We'll get through everything. It's like let's just enjoy the rest of our lives. All right. Greetings from Ireland. All right. All right. Greetings from Ireland. All right. All right. I'm getting to usually do the live streams here for 2 hours, so I'm gonna end the live stream here. Again, I probably won't do live streams this coming week. Monday to Thursday, we'll be in Iloilo City. We're hanging out with friends, and I don't want to like and then the internet's not that good at Inchep Hotel, so I don't want to get cut off with it. So I'll probably won't do a live stream till we get back home. Next Friday, Friday this coming week, I'll do a live stream just to update you guys on what happened in Iloilo City, and then I'll try to I'll try to look for dental, just film like the dental clinic available. Like I think I've seen a dental clinic, and it looks legit from the outside because it's at the mall. So I'm sure they have more equipment dental wise. Maybe I'll find out price at least get a price on the dental care. Most people here in the Philippines don't carry dental insurance. Like I know a lot of expats that come here, they just pay cash, like I do. Like if I go see a dentist here, I just pay cash for cleaning, for Dazzle and Leanna, if a crown to get fixed, we just pay cash because it is cheaper here than in the U.S. as far as dental. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining the live stream. And for those people that's going to enjoy fireworks tonight, have fun. Have fun at the fireworks in the U.S. I know that's always fun to do. Thank you for your videos. So amazing. Do you know if you area sells kombucha? Yeah, I know kombucha. I've seen it at Starbucks. Starbucks Boracay here has kombucha, and many people do their own version. They make their own. Like a friend of ours had given us a couple of bottles of kombucha, so it's doable. You can make your own kombucha here, but I have not seen anyone selling it locally. The only people I've seen kombucha is Boracay. Starbucks Boracay is the only one I've seen that sells it. Sorry, Michelle. But happy, oh no, no worries, Daniel, my good friend in Jacksonville, Florida. All right, all right. Enjoy the rest of the 4th of July celebration, Daniel. Safe travels, enjoy. All right, we'll be safe. I always drive safe, man. I always take my time driving to Iloilo City. Check into cleaning teeth. You can get your clean teeth anywhere here, man. Even here in Calibo, they got dentists here that will clean your teeth, and they'll only charge you maybe $9, 500 pesos for teeth cleaning. It's not a, it's when you need like extraction or crowns or anything like that. That's when it gets tricky. It gets tricky. Oop, whitening teeth. I have not seen that here, but I'm sure they do it. Filipinos, they're big on that cosmetic look. I know they're whitening and all that, so I'm sure they have teeth whitening here. Yay, we have properties in Jacksonville, Florida. Enjoy. All right, take care. All right, take care. Take care. The heart of our home. All right, take care. All right, everyone. Have a good rest of the 4th of July. Have a good weekend. And I will see you on the next live stream, more likely next Friday. I'll do a live stream next Friday. Take care, everyone. Take care, everyone. Stay blessed. Stay blessed.